Hey everyone, this week, this garden got a major glow up. Starting right here with my shade garden. This whole area, the whole pathway coming down here was full of overgrown weeds to the point that they were so tall I didn't know if when walking through them I might accidentally step on one of my black snake friends, and we wouldn't want that. Right here you can see what it looked like before, and you can see all the way down the pathway and into the shade garden there was a blanket of weeds, a literal blanket. So now we're going to see the after. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready to see the walkway? Look at that, all the way down to my little potting tree house. So we're going to take a nice leisurely stroll down here because there's some really cool plants here. I did a lot of work beyond just the weeding of the path. So right here I have a variegated hibiscus that I love. Its flowers are beautiful. Of course, I don't have any to show you right now, but they're like a pale red. And then I love this plant right here. It's tropical looking. I don't know what it is. And then my monstera right behind it. So when these have the blooms on them, it's a really pretty plant combination. And then getting ready to stroll down. Over here, I have my calamint, and it's blooming. And it may or may not be a Florida native plant. Last time I was talking to Catherine, who owns the Nectary, my favorite Florida native plant nursery. She was saying that there's now discussion that it might not be native. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know who comes up with that. But to me, calamint is a Florida native in my garden because it's in my Florida native garden. All right, as we come further down the trail a little bit, we have a little turn here into my shade garden. And there's a lot of host plants in here. There's a lot of beautiful plants in here. There's a zebra longwing flying through here. Over here, I have one of several spice bush, but this is my oldest one that's in here. And it's got some more new growth coming up below. I have a lot of rouge plants that I absolutely love. I have one blooming with berries, I can show you. I'll show you in a second. And my velvet leaf coffee is back here. And then all of these sprawling, viney looking pieces are snowberry, which it doesn't get enough sun, so it doesn't really flower or put on the berries. But it's so ensconced back here that it's just gonna stay. It's green. And I do have more snowberry in another location, so hopefully I'll get berries on those. So the rouge plant, the spice bush, the velvet leaf coffee, the snowberry are all Florida native plants. I have another spice bush here that was buried in all the overgrowth, and I found it, and so hopefully it'll start looking better. Same with right here is another little one. And then here's my rouge plant that has berries. Look how pretty. Berries and blooms. I love this plant. I talk about it a lot on my channel, I know, but I love it. And we're going to be talking about another plant that I talk about a lot lately because it's just gorgeous. This is a viburnum that's a Florida native, and it was also buried. So I don't know. I'm hoping, I think it goes dormant. So I'm hoping in the spring we're going to have a little bit better show, and I'll be a better gardener and not let things grow over and around it. And then here's my wild black cherry tree where I found the eggs of the caterpillars I'm currently raising, those adorable eastern tiger swallowtail caterpillars. Wild black cherry tree, host plant to a lot of things, including the eastern tiger swallowtail. And then continuing on down, look, is frostweed, another Florida native, is getting ready to bloom. So we'll be seeing this later on my channel. There is another spice bush there, and I don't believe I said spice bush is the host to the spice bush swallowtail. And then, oh my goodness, look at my beauty berry. It's huge, it's full of berries, and it's spectacular. I just can't get over it. I won't even, like, there's branches that are sticking out right in the walkway. I won't even trim them. I'm not trimming them because those berries are gorgeous. Now, this plant overall does need a trim, but it's not getting one anytime soon until all those berries get eaten up by the birds that live in the area. So the beautyberry and the frostweed, also Florida natives, and then right back there is my pawpaw tree that we're still waiting to get zebra swallowtail caterpillars on, but I am very patient, so I will continue the wait. Also a Florida native, and then down there is another little spice bush. And speaking of all these Florida natives, to my right, y'all know, is what was my Florida native wildflower garden. Well, it's back to being that. I decided, since I was going to go around the side yard and the front and do full butterfly garden, which would be a mix of Florida native and Florida friendly, that this is going back to exclusive Florida native. So I did plant one pentas in here and one porterweed, and I had a potted pentas in here that have all since moved out. This whole section here was completely overgrown with weeds, and there were a lot of potted things in there that were buried that I moved out. I'll show you some of those in a minute. So we have the spectacular giant ironweed. It's giant ironweed, and it's still blooming. I keep coming up and taking, like, when these little puffy ones here, when they're puffy like that, that means they're getting ready to fly, and so I will just kind of make them fly down. So hopefully I get more coming up. I don't want them flying anywhere else, just down right here, down. That's a good place to be. Oh my gosh, I love my ovate leaf plantain. I love it. It has always got little things on it, and its bloom time is decently long. Right now, the love bugs are in love with it. That's okay, as long as they stay there and aren't floating around my garden getting stuck on everything, I will take it. Look how beautiful that is. And then this is one of the potted plants I found, and let me see, looky, I have a name tag, Symphotrichum bahamens. It's that. So I think it's got tiny little buds on the ends. I don't know if you can see them. So that's going to be coming soon. And I cleared my whole walkway. Let me back up. I'm already on the walkway. I didn't even show it to you. Look at that. Whoosh, all the way through. I do want to go to Lowe's and pick up more of these stones and make them matchy-matchy all the way across. I don't like the unmatchy. And I do want to maintain this walkway because I just love getting in here and amongst all of these native plants. So two of the plants that came out of there right here, there were two potted coonties, and so I just moved them up front, and I think they're very happy there, and they're not being swallowed up, and they're available to Atalas, which I think I've lost my population. I haven't seen an Atala butterfly in a while, and I haven't found any eggs, but you know what? I can always try again. I will keep trying. Right here is an unknown to me plant. Not this. This is elephant's foot. I love that. But this is interesting. Like, it's got a lot of reddishness to it and is getting ready to bloom. And once the leaves are pretty high off the ground, but then after like the last set of this dense cluster, it puts out these long fronds. And I think when they bloom, I don't know, you know, I could probably get a picture of this now. It's so frustrating on iNaturalist because I put some incredible photos of like crystal clear images, and it's like, it's a 30% chance it could be this. I'm like, come on, how much more clear does this photo need to be? So I'm, can you tell I'm a little aggravated with it? All right, but we're not going to talk about that. We're only talking happy plants here in my garden. Oh, and speaking of happy plants, hello. This is the Georgia Aster, and it is covered in buds. I'm like, you hurry up, little Georgia Aster, and get busy getting those flowers out there. It's funny how it grows because it's just like really long and falls over on whatever will hold it up. So I keep coming in and pulling them and like standing them back up. Oh, here's one. Look how pretty. So it's a partial bloom. But, oh, I mean, just imagine this all over. Look at all the buds. I cannot wait till it's just everywhere. Fall in Florida, I mean, that is your gardening time, y'all. That is your gardening time, our gardening time. That's when most of our native wildflowers are blooming, which this garden is going to be gorgeous. And, you know, we're already blooming, but when those asters start and the starry rosin weeds are always blooming, it's going to be so pretty. Oh, I see something I forgot to move out. I have a pot of Mexican sunflowers right there. They are not Florida native, so they'll just move across the street, right across that little walkway. They can go over there. Easy, easy peasy. So then right here is my blue curls, and I have it all up with, it needed not one, but 2 little mini trellises to keep it up because it's so full and bushy and it just wants to lay all over the place. But it's blooming too. Let me find some good blooms. What is this? This is not. Oh, there's an elephant's foot laying in here. See? Elephant's foot. Okay, but you go over there, Mr. Elephant's foot. And then here, look at how tiny. They're tiny and spectacular. And I love this plant. I love the variation in the colors of the leaf. Look at elephant's foot trying to get back in there. It wants you to see it. All right, let's pause a minute. Let's everybody admire the elephant's foot. Okay, now back to the blue curls. I love this plant. And behind it, there's 2 asters that aren't currently blooming. One I think is a rice button, and the other one, I don't remember. I'll have to go look. I might have a sign down there. And then this, I'm not sure what that is either. Do I have a sign? Oh, I have a sign in it. Let's go back there and see what it is. It's a Symphotrichum dumosum. So there's 2 Symphotrichum. Is that Aster? I think that's Aster. Is it Aster? I think it is. So these are 2 types of asters. All right, so this one right here, yeah, it must be Aster because I know these are asters. This is the sign that was on it. So this is Calico Aster. Lateriflorus. Symphio. Symphiotrichum. Calico Aster. I need to reattach this. How did it get free? Look, it's still sealed. Like, and it was on the main stem. How did you get free? And I see the other one is down here. Oh, look, this one still has a little bloom on it. But you can see the other ones are down here still. blue wood aster. Symphotrichum. Is it cordifolia? I think it's cordifolia. Cordifolium. I really need to stake this calico aster up too. It keeps falling over. I got it back up again, but one good wind and it's probably gonna go laying all over everything else again. Okay, and then back here is my wafer ash tree, Florida native tree, host plant 2 that I know of. I think there's more, but I have it here for the giant swallowtails. It does go dormant. I think it's looking scrappy because maybe it's starting to think about it. I'm not sure. Okay, I put the little sign back on the calico aster, and of course I put it upside down too, but that's okay. There are no rules. And there's something interesting right there too, and that has a sign in it also. Let's go around and see who that is. I am so glad I put little signs on so many of these Florida native plants, because when you're learning, like my butterfly host plants, like I know them, but when I'm collecting Florida natives, I don't remember all their names. So I'm glad I put those signs there. All right, let's go see who that is. See this little walkway here? I still need to do a little work. It's just a small little step. Why I didn't go all the way through that walkway, I don't know. Because look, here's one side. We can see the walkway. And then there's the other side. So I still have to do that. Now let's see. I'm trying to guess. I'm trying to remember what this is without looking. I feel like it's something that's medicinal. All right, let's go see. I don't know. I know I saw a sign. There's the sign. Sambucus. I wish I would have put the regular names on these plants. But see that Sambucus? I know there's a commercial for some sort of vitamin and they say that word. So that's what makes me think it's medicinal. Sambucus. I have to go look it up. I should add signs to these of their not scientific names. So, I mean, you guys probably recognize a lot of them too. All right. Moving on. I'll just give you a look from the other side of this walkway over. And then from here, you can see into my shade garden. And I love this garden space. I love it, I love it, I love it. Except I gotta move these guys. Oh, and look, my golden Alexanders are blooming. This is a host plant to eastern black swallowtails. Aren't they cute little flowers? And they'll go to seed, and you can collect the seeds and plant more. I don't ever find butterfly eggs on this, but I've heard other people have. I think they just go right to my huge supply of rue up in the front of my garden. So I know at the beginning of this I said something about I did a garden glow up, but for those of you who are new here, not only is my entire backyard a garden full of a lot of Florida native plants and Florida friendly, is also a garden designed for butterflies. It's a complete butterfly habitat, including host plants, nectar plants, everything a butterfly that's native to my area would need and love. At least it's in the process of becoming that. There's still a few butterflies. I haven't gotten here yet. So now we're going to go walk by the starry rosinweed, which is a showcase, gorgeous Florida native plant. The blooms on these come and go so quickly that like I could constantly be out here deadheading. But the more you deadhead, the more blooms you get. So I do a lot of deadheading, but just looking now, I mean, it was just 2 days ago and I already see so many more that could be done. When I deadhead, I cut down to where I see another bloom forming, or yeah, there's probably going to be one coming right there. There's a beautiful monarch just flying around. Okay, so let me look through the walkway here because I did clean up this walkway also. And that's pretty much all I did in my Florida native wildflower garden, my shade garden, and the pathway that leads up to my treehouse, which is a hot mess. And do y'all want to go up? Y'all want to go up? Can't say anything about it. It's on the other side is completely overgrown with passiflora incense. And I have some leaves encroaching from my huge split leaf. Oh, and let's have a moment. Look at the elephant ear. Oh, I love it. Look at that. Oh, it's just gorgeous. Look at in there. It's like a whole little world in here. There's probably all kinds of little things living in there. There's a whole ecosystem that I don't even know about because I don't go in there. My dogs do, which makes me kind of glad because they might run off something that's in there that's not supposed to be. Look at my elephant ear. Wait, we have to go back down. We have to go back down the steps and appreciate the elephant ear. This is not native, but it's gorgeous. Look at this. Look at how big the leaves are. Oh my gosh, I love it. That Florida blue sky with elephant ears, and then deep back in there. Oh, hello. Little zebra longleaf. They love to flutter through here. They like to flutter through like dense shrubbery or like this planting, and they're so amazing because they're so delicate the way they move, and yet they just maneuver with grace and beauty. Yeah. Are you ready? Look at that hot mess. Look at the passiflora incense. It's all growing all over my treehouse. So, like, I know when we get cooler, this will die back. And the whole railing on the back side was destroyed when a tree fell during Hurricane Milton. There's also an American pokeweed growing up here too. Well, it's growing on the ground. It just reaches up here. What I think I'd like to do though is be able to walk all the way through this and out the other side. So I'm thinking about, don't look at my work area because that's messy down there. I'm thinking about building some kind of step up, like a couple of like sturdy boxy things. You can do those big step ups like you would do at the gym, and that way I could like come up, go through, and then down and out the other side, and I could do like loops. I mean, who wouldn't want to get their steps in, walk in circles in the butterfly garden? Me, all day long. It's better than a treadmill, right? So I have that idea in the back of my mind. Will it come to fruition? Who knows? But if it does, you'll find out. Look at that beauty berry. Oh, I love it. Okay, let me go see what else I did because I still have more to show you. And here's a look out here down to the patio. Oh, I know one thing. My ever-growing collection of potted things that I'm growing. I had a bunch of swamp milkweed that I grew from seeds, so they were seedlings, but they were bigger than seedlings and needed to go in a pot. And so I put them all in one pot. And since it's swamp milkweed, they like wet situation, so there's no drain holes in this pot. And I really just like one pot just full of swamp milkweed. And so there we have it. And I grew those from seed. I love it. I want to grow more. This is host plant too, monarch butterfly and queen butterfly. I also moved one of these out. I have an idea for that, so it's sitting here waiting to get some attention. But I kind of like how these are all just clumped out here and clustered in, and I love these red pentas. I trimmed up and they were wonky, so I have them up here to fix them up, but butterflies come and land on them all the time, and it's like right here. So because of that, this is another thing I wanted to show you. So I showed you the seedlings. Over here, now this isn't done, but this planter right here, I'm replanting it out and I'm putting in flowers. I've got some Mexican sunflowers I put in there, and there's some host plants in here like rue and parsley, but then there's a red pentas that just, you know, it needs a little help. And there's a porterweed I plucked out of the patio, so it's looking droopy, but it'll be fine. And I put another red pentas in here. Here's a pot with a Mexican sunflower and one zinnia. I've got it hooked through this hibiscus because it keeps falling over, but look how pretty it is. It's a pretty color, and butterflies land on this one flower. And then in this planter here, I have another pentas, and I'm not sure if this rue's gonna make it. These two rues, just all of a sudden, they're like, we just don't want to be happy anymore. So I'm not sure what they're doing, but there's a gorgeous porterweed in here too. Look how big it is. So I love that because behind it is our bedroom window, and then I can open the window, and when these guys get taller with the flowers, there'll be butterflies out here right outside my window. Why did I never do that before? Why? I don't know, but it's done now, and it's gonna be fabulous. Another little corner I've been working on, this really doesn't have anything to do with butterflies or Florida gardening because it's cactus. It's my cactus garden, but this cactus here has gotten so tall. It's up, it's leaning on a roof, it's over the roof, so I'm working on trimming them, but I want to save them. So I trimmed one right here, and you can take these and stick them in dirt and they'll live and they'll grow. So I took the one from here and I potted it up right over here. And look, it's doing well. I mean, this has been, when did I do this? Last week sometime. Look at all the things I had to do to get it to stand up straight. So all these little plants in here were wedged in here to help keep it upright because it's really heavy. And then it has a stake that it's leaning on here. And I've got another stake back here, which actually, see these ones, they turn down. I need to stand them up. Come here, you. If they won't come upright, I can just cut these. There. I can just cut those pieces off, but I'm really trying to keep the look of the whole thing. And as you saw over there, I still have, oh no, don't be droopy. Here, let's put you up like that. Let's just have one more walk by. Starry rosin weed, we love it. It's beautiful, I love it. Right here, I planted a lantana. I don't have any lantana in my Florida native wildflower garden, and this is native lantana. It's Lantana depressa variety depressa, and it will fill in that area. Here's another one right across the way so you can see what it looks like. So it will grow big and fill in that area, but it will still leave space for my rayless sunflowers. We're still not blooming yet, but We're getting closer. We're getting closer. And then right over here, I had a bunch of Mexican sunflower seedlings. This is not my Florida native wildflower garden. It ends at the walkway. This is a combination garden. There are Florida natives in here and some, you know, like pentas and zinnias and, you know, all that fun stuff. But I planted a bunch of Mexican sunflower seedlings in here. You can see them. They're scattered throughout. So when those come up, that's going to be splendid. The butterflies will love it. And I need to start more seedlings because now all the ones that I grew are officially out in my garden. Look, there's another starry rosinweed. Okay, so the last thing is right here. I put in this walkway earlier this year, I believe it was, and it was all overgrown too. Imagine that. So I just cleared it open. So now I can walk all the way through again, and I can check my privet senna for sulfur caterpillars, which I have been doing regularly. I've got a lot of little babies in, which you saw in the last video, I think. And you'll see Sunday in my next, well, there'll be a video Thursday, but Sunday you'll probably see the caterpillars. Thursday and then Sunday. Okay, so look at my cocoa plum. It's really growing in. I love it. Right here, this was a tall wall of snow square stem. It was growing over everything. So I chopped it back. It's kind of like a hedge. It was kind of sad because it had blooms on it. It was getting ready to bloom, but it had to be done because it was growing over. Look at my poor silver buttonwood. Yes. And my Simpson stoppers. So now we are all opened up again. And look at the berries. Aren't they pretty? And the snow square stem is not taking over. But if I regularly trim them back and let them grow, I can get them really dense, like the crazy one that's back in my nectar garden. And just kind of maintain it as a hedge. And one final funny thing. You remember in the last video, I told you about my super tall cosmos? Right here. Well, okay, to be fair to myself, I did have a cosmos grow this big one, so that's why I thought it was what it was. And the leaves, you know, similar to cosmos. But no, several of you let me know in my last video that this is ragweed. That's right, I have been growing a big tree of ragweed in my garden. Fortunately, I'm so glad I know what it is before it can start blooming. I don't really have allergies, but my neighbors could, and my husband could. No, I would know if my husband had allergies, wouldn't I? Yeah, I don't think he does. My neighbors could. So this thing's gonna come out now that I know it's not a cosmos. And thank you. I honestly, y'all, I've never seen ragweed before. Never. And I remember hearing about ragweed when I was a kid in Pittsburgh. That's like, I didn't even realize it grew here. I thought it was an up north thing. I remember my grandma would always say, oh, the ragweed's blooming, because she was allergic to it. So, you know, you just don't know. How did this get here? I don't know. A bird could have dropped a seed. Seeds travel in so many different ways. But thank you, those of you who let me know. It's not cosmos. That's fabulous. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me in my Florida butterfly garden and seeing what I have been up to and working on. I am now posting videos Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Tuesday and Sunday will be more like my regular videos, and Thursday posting shorter, quick information for people who are like newer to butterfly garden. Maybe some information specifically you want to know without having to get lucky watching one of my long videos that I might mention whatever it is you're trying to learn. If there is something specific butterfly gardening that you would like to know more about, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll make a little 10-minute video for you coming up one Thursday. And until then, tap the like button, and I'm gonna go edit this because you're gonna be watching it tonight. So hi everybody tonight. Say hi to me in the comments. Just give me an emoji if nothing else, but do something. Post an emoji. Every comment makes the YouTube algorithm think, oh wow, they took time to post a comment. They must really love her channel. So give me an emoji, your favorite emoji. Give me 4 of your favorite emojis. All right, bye everyone.